Cool.
Does it show?
Um,
The mic, no?
nah. Coolio. Alrighty. Well, let me know when you're ready, Vibes.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Wow. Thank you. I feel like we were just here.
I know, huh? Just last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yes, but this time is different because last time it was more about me and my whole life story. And over the past 2 weeks, honestly, the idea to actually, you mentioned it during our podcast,
Yeah.
but it really popped in my head like with Unamar just launching, and I've been wondering how I can better support what you have going on. And then all of a sudden it popped in my head. It's like, well, what does B have actually going on? And I started thinking about your life story and
Yeah.
exactly what you've done in order to get to where you are and your aspirations moving forward. So with all that being said, I really do want to hand the floor to you. Like, I'm interested in like the entire experience of your life, from like how you got into fitness, when you got into fitness, and like what you've actually had to do. Because if there's anything I can say about you just in like the 2 months that I've known you, you're like
Only 2 months?
yeah,
Oh my God, I thought
yeah,
it's like a year.
yeah.
That's fast.
You're like a machine, and it's really inspirational. You are always positive.
Thank
You're
you.
always the same way. You're very consistent with your behaviors, your attitude, and you're like a bullet,
Yeah.
and it's really inspiring. So I would love to just like hand the floor to you and like whatever information, knowledge, wisdom, insights that you have to give, like that's what I'm looking to extract.
All right, let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay. So how did you get into this whole thing?
Okay, so back in 2017, I
Okay.
had a vocal polyp removal surgery. I think I posted it, I pinned it
Yes.
on my
Yeah.
Instagram. So that started my fitness journey because I was so depressed, devastated. Since I was a kid, I was singing. Like, that was my number one passion. Music is my number one passion. It's different when you sing because it comes from the heart, like deepest, what do you call this? Like, I couldn't explain, but it's coming from your heart and soul. So words can't describe it. So it's a different outlet of emotions. But back in 2017, I had a vocal polyp removal surgery, and the surgeon completely fucked it up. Yeah, I know. Like, so after that, I didn't talk or produce any sound for 3 weeks because the surgeon told me you have to completely heal first
Wow.
before you even speak.
Yeah.
And then, so I patiently waited for 3 weeks. I remember when I was in the restaurant, I had to bring up my phone and then type it in, like what my
For
order
orders.
is, and then
Yeah.
like show
Yeah.
it. But they're actually cool. The cashier, like, they don't judge people, and they didn't even ask me like why you can talk or something like that. Yeah, I was just showing the phone, like, this is my order, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I patiently waited for 3 weeks, and then after that, like, 3 weeks has passed, I was like, oh shit, like, this is it. I'm gonna finally
Yeah.
talk again. And then I had a checkup with my surgeon. Oh my goodness. The first time I spoke again, I talk again, my voice is so deep, like a guy, like a man. I said, hello, hi. I
And
was com-
you hadn't heard it for
I was
three
shook.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I was shook completely. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, I was like, why my voice is like this? This is not what I've expected. Because the surgeon told me it's gonna be like an easy fix. Because I had a vocal polyp, so it's actually nodule. It's a nodule that's affecting my way of singing. So I used to be a belter. So when I sing like high key notes, songs. But that's why I fixed it, because I couldn't sustain the note. So, long story short, she
So you
complete.
got the surgery in order to be able to continue
Yeah,
singing, and then the surgery removed your ability to sing.
yeah. There was a malpractice. She was telling me that that procedure is like a first time for her. Like, she was telling me that. Um, she didn't do it on the other patients. It was a first time procedure for me to try on. It's like a laser thingy. So, but in my gut, like, something's telling me that that isn't right. And she was telling me, like, she was being defensive. She's telling me like, I had 10 years of experience, blah blah. There's no way like that didn't go well.
Yeah.
I was like, but how come I couldn't sing? And then she's like, okay, wait for 2 weeks. And it's crazy. It's so painful because that time I lost my job too. Yeah, I lost my job that time. My boss fired me because that day I was doing my vocal polyp removal surgery. Earlier than that, I told them that I'm gonna be in the hospital doing this, and then the next day they fired me. They're like, why didn't tell us that you're gonna be in the hospital? Should have told me like 2 weeks ago. Blah 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 blah. 2 weeks notice. I was like, why would I tell you? That's like a surgery
Yeah.
thingy. Yeah, but
What
anyway.
was the job?
Oh, marketing. Yeah, marketing slash programmer.
Was this in America or the Philippines?
Here, yeah, here.
Okay.
Yeah, but back then, because I've been trying to get into singing again, I want to be like popular, like Celine Dion level, like that. Mariah Carey, like I was a fan of them. But anyway, like after that, I patiently waited 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it still didn't change. I couldn't sing. I remember I was crying every night. I couldn't sleep because there's so much anxiety, and I was like, what the heck did I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no insurance, so I paid,
Out of
through my
pocket.
savings,
Wow.
out of pocket.
For a botched surgery.
Yeah, and then whenever I had a checkup, I have to pay the doctor's fee. So it's like so painful, not only emotionally,
And you didn't have a job.
in my pocket. Yeah, so I lost all of my savings and stuff. So I was completely devastated that time. And I remember every night I only had like 3 hours of sleep because I was like, oh shoot, like what am I gonna do? I don't have job. I lost all my savings, and I don't have a means to sing. Like I don't have a means to make out of it for a living because I was planning to be a singer, and that way I could get like side gigs and stuff.
Right.
But it was completely taken away. So I was like, I have nothing left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like so depressed that time, and I don't know what to do. Not until my friend, he used to be my coworker, he introduced me to fitness, and yeah, that completely changed my whole life, my perspective. Yeah, and then I remember signing up for a membership too. I remember he was telling me like, oh, you should sign up for a membership in the gym. You should try it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. And one day I decided, okay, when I woke up, like, I'm going to go to the gym, get a membership. And then, like, their marketing,
Right.
the sales team going to tell you, like, oh, you have to sign up for training
Right.
sessions.
Yeah.
But it was awful because the trainer, she didn't really train me like train. They're just there for the money.
They're for sales
Yeah,
too.
for the sales. So
Yeah.
I was like, whenever we're gonna have session, it's more of talking. And me, I like action. I wanna learn at the same time. At the same time, I wanna get results. But that time I was like, why is it only like talking? Like I'm not into.
Yeah, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, I was like, why are you not doing
What
anything?
was the gym?
Gold's Gym.
Okay. Okay.
Gold's Gym, yeah, in downtown LA. That was my home gym for a
Got
long
it.
time.
Okay. And had you ever done anything fitness related before that time?
No.
You hadn't touched a weight?
Nothing. Like no experience, nothing at all. Zero knowledge about fitness. So I was just like learning through experience.
Okay. How long were you going to Gold's Gym before the bug or the passion took a hold of you?
You know what? That's a very good question. I think I've been going there for 3 years, and
Okay.
then suddenly, because I used to play volleyball too, but only like as a hobby. We used to like have like what do you call this? Not really competition, but tournaments.
Okay.
So we do tournaments in different states, but I don't go all the time because it's too expensive. You have to pay, out of
Yeah,
pocket. So in every state, there's a tournament, and then you can join if a team will pick you up, or you can create your own team. So that's the only sport that I was playing before. And then one of my friends there, teammates, he told me, oh, you know what, you should do fitness training. Like, you should try training clients because you're always in the gym. because that's when I was like developing my passion into
Yeah.
fitness.
Yeah.
I was like kind of like it gave me life again, like it lit my fire. Cause like remember like I told you like I lost my purpose, and then the gym actually like woke me up. I was like suddenly I'm getting challenged again. Suddenly I was like, oh, this is a different feeling. I'm getting stronger, and I also see the people around me like having this different what do you call it, like different respect. Because when they see me like,
The
oh, like,
consistency, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
like you're looking different than before, so they're like noticing it. So I was like, oh, okay, like we're doing good job because like people are noticing already.
What was the first? Because I noticed that when people really get hooked on fitness or their fitness journey, it's usually, and it could not be the case for you, but it's usually related to them being able to perceive results, perhaps in the mirror or something of that nature. Do you remember a moment when you actually saw something different than what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think around 4 6 months. That's when I was like seeing the results, and that time I wasn't even like really focusing on nutrition. I was just like eating whatever.
Right.
So I came from Philippines, so we eat a lot of oily foods, fried foods. So I didn't really like pay much attention to nutrition, just training, recovery, training. So yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So 3 years at Gold's Gym, 2017 to 2020. Then the pandemic hit. Okay, and pandemic closed a bunch of gyms.
Yeah.
Walk me through that whole period.
Oh my God, I was so blessed that time. I used to live with a Filipino family somewhere in Altadena, and they have really nice house with huge backyard. So that was used to be my gym. Oh, and they have like different old gym equipments. So I was like, that was my advantage because I'm seeing a lot of people just stuck at home doing nothing. But me, like, I took it as an advantage. I was like, oh,
Keep
I still
working.
have like
Yeah.
a little home gym here, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep working. And at the same time, I'll go to parks because Altadena is like, has a huge space, you know. They have like different parks out there. And you don't have to be close to people. You can just like jog around the area, work out on your own.
Yeah, that's I thought that would have been the solution for everywhere, but
Yeah,
a lot of the outdoor park gym
are
areas,
closed.
they were closed off. They were roped around or
I know. I was
yeah.
so blessed that time.
Yeah.
And then I remember posting it on my stories, my Instagram stories, Facebook stories, and then my friends were like, "Why are you outside? Like you're not supposed to be out." And then I was like, "No, heck no. You can still be
Yeah.
outside, but
Yeah.
don't get close to people."
Right.
And they're like, "No, because there's air, something." What do you call that?
That's a whole can of worms.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, no, like I'll be sick if I stay at home. I'd rather
Right,
go
yeah.
out.
Mental sick,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. That was my next question is when did you start incorporating, because I'm really impressed with your level of consistency in all things that you do.
Yeah. Oh,
So I'm
thank you.
wondering how you, at what point you created this blend of fitness, having a social media presence, training clients, Unamara. You know, I'm like wondering, like, at what point did you start incorporating all these different factors?
I don't know, cause since I was a kid, I'm already active. Like I used to play with boys, not. No, like street games. I don't really blend in with girls. I don't like playing dolls. I like playing cars or guns, stuff like they're playing. What do you call that? The pellet guns, water
Yeah.
guns, stuff like
BB
that.
guns.
Yeah,
That's
BB
what you're looking
guns.
for.
Like all the street games, I played with the boys because I like challenge and I am like this competitive. And then my parents, they brought they what do you call this? They raised me up as a competitive individual. They're like so strict. They wanted me to achieve like this certain of grades, you know, like during grade school. They wanted me to always be on top one. So I got it like when I was growing up, I always wanted to achieve something, like to achieve more than what I've achieved through the past years. So that kind of gave me that habit.
So you've always been a high achiever?
Yeah,
Always?
yeah. And
Okay.
if I feel like I'm not doing something productive, if I'm not being productive, I feel like being lazy.
Okay. And
Yeah,
that's always been like inherent in your
yeah,
personality.
yeah.
It reminds me of, when you're in school and you're assigned to like a group project, you're like that one person in
Yes.
the group where it's like, okay, I'm doing 80% of the work.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm like that.
Yeah, because you want to get it
Yeah.
done and you want to get it done
I want to
correctly.
get it done. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then
Okay.
if I see someone not doing their job, that's actually not good. It's good and bad. It's good because you're doing the work and you're doing the work fast.
Yeah, but you're
But
also
at the same time, you're tolerating them being lazy,
right.
But yeah, like when I was in college, like I see people doing that, like my teammates, they're not performing well. And I just had to tell them, hey, like we need to do this ASAP. So what I do is like I complete the task first and then I deal with them later on because I want to get it done first.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a good nugget. All right, so it would seem, based off of your personality that's been there from the beginning, that everything that you're doing now is kind of a natural progression of your love for fitness, which blossomed over the first 3 years of you going to Gold's Gym. Okay, so let me recap. Gold's Gym, 3 years, pandemic came, 2020, now you're training at the home gym in Altadena.
Yeah.
When did you, once COVID ended and things opened up, what was your next move?
I was like, I'm gonna do the fitness content full time.
Okay.
Because during COVID, everything's the business closed down, right? The
Mm-hmm.
physical business closed down. Everything goes online. So
Mm.
you have to be innovative in how you think, how you do your work, because
Mm-hmm.
everything's online now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I have to be consistent doing my fitness content because that's how people will know me. That's how people will recognize me through doing content online. So,
So real quick, COVID's ending, and you've already come up with the decision to start
building
promoting
my
yourself,
brand, yeah.
building your brand. Had you already decided that you're going to start training clients?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Okay.
during pandemic, like everything's uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I was like, I don't want to rely on anyone else. Like that completely changed my perspective. I was like, I'm gonna do my own, and I wanna manage my own time.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's gonna be risky, but I wanna make worth my time, and I wanna have the complete control of my time
I
and
love
what I'm
that.
gonna do with my
Yeah.
life.
Okay. When did you create Train with Bianca G?
I think 2021. Yeah,
2021, at the end of the pandemic.
yeah. I think
Okay.
end of 2020. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
And if I had to guess based off of what you're telling me, Train with Bianca G, online presence, and then simultaneously you started taking on clients?
yeah.
Yeah?
Online and in person, but I like doing in person.
Okay.
It's just first when I was doing it, I was getting drained because I feel like I'm bringing a lot of energy for one client and I have to train like multiple clients. So I had learned to become stronger and how to um, divide my energy throughout the client so I can survive the whole day. Because after that, I'm feeling drained. But like as time goes by, like I get stronger.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got better at it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So this whole blend of in-person training and your social media presence, I know it's the same world, but they're two very different factors.
Yeah.
And I guess what really impresses me is that you're able to do both so well. I mean, you
Yeah.
really garnered a following over from 2021 to 2000 now. Can you tell me a little bit about the level of consistency and the on a daily basis that's required?
So it's everyday grind. Like after this, we're still grinding, and then I still get like some sleep, 6, 7 hours of sleep. But the time I wake up, boom, that starts my day. Like boom, 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 like back to back. I had to do something productive, and then go to the gym, train clients, and then still do my programs for my online clients, it's everyday grind. Like sometimes on and off because like I don't get to wake up the same time, but I try to do all of those things every day. You know what I mean? Because like building habit takes time. And also, if you fall off that habit, you have to be disciplined enough to get back at it. So,
Yeah.
because it's hard when you fall off. So you have to find way to get back on track.
Yeah.
And if, like you already experienced being on that track, so there's no problem for you getting back on track again if you fall off.
That makes
Yeah.
a lot
And
of
then
sense.
just like 1% better every day. Like don't beat yourself up. Like when we had the business back in 2022,
The food truck?
yeah, aside food truck. So it completely uh, taken my time, like a lot of time. So I was still putting in content like every day, but not as much as content like right now. And also the quality of content is different because I was just basically putting everything in there. But I'm trying to be still consistent with the social media postings. And then after the business, I told myself, I'm not gonna waste time. After this, we're gonna go hard, back to back to back. We're gonna be there again, on point. Because I was doing that back in 2020, 2021, and then I kind of like fall off because of the business, which is good and bad. But when I got back, when I get back on track again, I was like non-stop, back to back grinding every day. Yeah, till now.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So, okay, 2021 to 2024, that's 3 years, right? There are other people who have aspirations similar to yourself, similar to me. Let's say they want to promote their brand, they want to become fitness influencers or whatever. I like to use the term fitness professional because
Yeah,
it sounds,
or creator.
yeah, or creator, content creator. What would you say that they're doing wrong or that you're doing right when it comes to the level of success that you've achieved in the past 3 years? And if you, does that make sense? Yeah.
I think it depends on, it's a case to case basis. There's no right and wrong. You're still gonna get there as long as you're consistent with what you're doing. You're gonna get there. It's just a matter of time and consistency. So if you're feeling like, oh, I'm doing it wrong because I'm not seeing the results that I wanted, no, that's when you push through. Like right now, I just launched my brand and I'm not seeing the results that I wanted. I have like high level of expectation with how the brand will go, like especially the launch date, but it then exceeded my expectation. So I was like, no, I don't need to think that way because I know with time and consistency, everything will take off. So I believe in that. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk for a second about the team that you've kind of created around yourself. And I know that as part of your fitness journey in this world as a professional, it does require or it does involve a high level of collaboration. How do you pick and choose who you want to interact with, who you want to be on your team, and who you ultimately decide to work with?
Yeah, that's a good question too, because I work with different people, and like not all people will be genuine and nice. Some people are just there to chase for clout. They don't have a purpose. And I would say those people who are chasing for clout and don't have a purpose, they fall off. They get burned out easily. So after that, like, they just like fade away slowly.
So,
But I don't really like choose.
excuse me.
I don't really. Um, I don't want to say I'm choosing anyone to be in the who's gonna be in my circle because everyone deserves a chance. Like when you approach us, like I didn't even judge anyone. But if I see you being genuine, being consistent with what you're doing, and you're aligned to what I do, then you're very welcome to be in the team.
And it also sounds like it kind of goes back to that cardinal rule that I've been hearing very consistently, which is funny, is that it's consistency.
Yeah.
So you mentioned clout chasers, which is like, I've heard the term, but I understand these terms differently now that I'm in this world. A clout chaser is a person who isn't really there for longevity.
Yes.
And you kind of mentioned they're not there with a purpose in mind.
Yes.
Their purpose is to be around and in the mix. What's interesting about that is if you're motivated by something that's not internal, then there really is no consistency. There is no
Yes.
longevity
Yes.
for that. And it sounds like if I had to put my words into like what you're saying, it's like you're willing to work with individuals that are here for the long haul. They're
Yes.
here because they are self-motivated and they are applying that level of consistency that's
Yeah.
required in order to achieve their own success.
Yeah, it's like I don't need to babysit you. If you want to be in here, you're gonna do the work.
Yeah.
Like this is something that I mean, like I'm not selfish. I share what I have.
Yeah, you do.
But yeah, you do. But if you're not aligned and you're not consistent, and we don't have the same vision and goals, then I don't think you last in this circle. Cause like us, we move fast.
Yeah,
you
we do.
know, like we do content, we produce content almost every day, and then we film content almost every week, and we were showing up because we have a purpose. We're in this business because we have a purpose. You want to make names for your natural bodybuilding. I want to I created my brand because I want to make an impact to other people and to keep reminding each individual to love yourself first, because you won't be capable of taking care of other people if you can't even take care of yourself.
Okay, so on the topic of the brand, and there was another thought that I had, and I'll probably be able to circle back around.
Yeah.
If I fail, it's not the end of the world. It's funny, like with you and eVibes, like I will have a question for you too, 24 hours before I see you next, and then by the time I get to see you guys, like the question's gone. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna start writing down my questions.
Okay.
On that note, before I lose this question, your brand. Okay, yeah, that was my question. Do you have, because I want to understand the vision for where you want Unamara to go. Could you paint a picture, if you're able to, as like the highest success that you would like this brand to achieve?
Oh my God, there's a lot. It's infinite. Sky is the limit. But I want to build like a gym.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the ultimate goal for us, to build a gym. And then this is only the stepping stone. And at the same time, bringing everyone along with us, you guys, especially those people who help to build this brand. Because like without you guys, like this won't be possible to, like we need people around us to build this
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
all together.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the clothing, because what I have found to be very interesting, and again, I am all very new to this. I got into fitness 3 years ago in a very serious way, but it was really just in like the being introduced to nutrition.
Yeah.
In the way that it was, because during COVID, that's all fortunately, I wasn't in Altadena with a home gym, so in order for me to get in shape, it had to be nutrition. But beyond that, now that I've been here for 2 months and I'm learning, I feel like a sponge, and I'm becoming more of a sponge every day.
Yeah, you're fast.
Yeah, well, you guys hold me accountable, and I want to be able to live up to your expectations, Take Raw Gear, for example. I find it fascinating that like they always talk about like new launch drops or something like that. Do you see that happening for Unamara?
Oh, heck yeah, yeah. Raw Gear is like, they built it like, what, 4 or 5 years ago? I forgot. So again, like it just comes with time and consistency.
Okay.
And sky is the limit. And like Raw Gear, they have Bradley Martin, they have Sarah. So they have this famous content creators already. So from there, it's already like their advantage.
Yes.
And
okay.
also they have the finances.
Yes. Okay.
So that's one thing. Because when you have millions of dollars, it's going to be easier to move. Like, trust me, if I have like $10 million, I'm going to build a gym right away.
Right.
Yeah.
I got it.
So slowly but surely.
And that actually ties into a conversation I was having before you got here, which is what I see the potential of my trajectory. I see like a vehicle, and I see successful brands as vehicles that we can use to kind of promote other collaborations. So like, you know that I'm doing this whole thing on the rise of natural bodybuilding, and my whole goal is to become the face of the natural bodybuilding circuit and create that association between who's the best natural bodybuilder? Sean Fury, Valley
Yeah, yeah.
Muscle. And we create that name and that face recognition. And then through that, kind of to like what you just said, if Raw Gear has Bradley Martin and Sarah Safari, then Unamara has Bianca G, Sean Fury, Valley Muscle, like these name recognitions that now there's like a
Yes.
vehicle associated with this brand, and there's more of like an excitement or whatever it is that gets people
Exactly.
wanting to learn more. Or
Because people don't really like buy just clothing. They buy because of you.
exactly.
So that's what we're trying to portray. You, our stories to be up there.
Right.
Because like once they know who we are, then they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I wanna support them. So whatever you're gonna present to your followers or whoever wanted to support you, they're gonna buy regardless of what the item is.
I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. Um, Now, there are two questions that are popping in my head. They're kind of going in different directions. All right. Let's go with following first.
Okay.
How do you, if you do, I'm sure that you do, how do you use your following to your advantage for what you want to get done with your career?
First, it's a community. So once you have community, it's gonna be easier to move around, and at the same time, they support you, they believe in you, they're there for a reason. So, but at the same time, you're gonna have like secret haters. What do you call it? Secret enviers. So, but for me, like I don't really put my energy towards that because I want to keep on creating, keep on building. And for me, as long as there's one person that who believes in me and believes in my potential, that's what really matters. So
Okay.
if I have, regardless how many followers I have, like that don't really matter unless I mean like if I have 10 or thousand followers, as long as one person is believing on me, that's what really matters.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes
I
sense.
find that ever since I had the little virality a couple of weeks ago and my following went up, I get a little overwhelmed about the amount of opportunities that I could be pursuing
Yeah,
with this
I remember you
higher
told me that.
platform. And it's like, okay, on a week to week basis, there might be 5 opportunities that are just coming to me in the form of DMs or maybe even in person where it's like,
Yeah,
hey, would you like to do this? And that opportunity would not have been presented if I didn't have the platform that I was able to create.
that too.
Right, which is fantastic. But I recently I've been thinking, okay, well, if 5 opportunities are coming to me on a week to week basis, how many opportunities exist out there?
There's a lot.
Yeah, a lot. And I
Yeah.
do get overwhelmed because it's like, okay, I'm not making as much money as I honestly as I should be making or as I need to be making on a monthly basis. So it's like, okay, well, if I were to prioritize monetization, it's like, what should I be focusing on? I guess that's like really my thing. And I always fall back on what I really want to be focusing on is the story
Yeah.
of natural bodybuilding. And it becomes easier when it's just like, okay, let's just train. Let's just
You,
go to the gym and train,
there's nothing wrong with that, the monetization part. You can still have it as your side hustle, but your focus mainly is on the natural bodybuilding. So you want to provide value to the community about that because you can provide them through a book or ebook. And then from there, since you're giving the value, you also want to give value to yourself. So that way, you can actually like sell those ebook to your followers since you have more followers now who are leaning towards natural bodybuilding as well, and that way you can monetize your ebook or whatever you want to present to your followers, so you don't have to rely on those opportunities that being presented, because those opportunities are being presented but you don't really know, you're not sure if it's something that's aligned to your goals.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's really great. That was my next question, which is how much throughout like everything that you have going on, how much do you prioritize the monetization of your efforts on a daily basis?
How much? Like, what do you mean?
Well, you make content daily. You've got your merch, and obviously, we want everything that you do to be successful. But how much do you focus on, like every single thing that you're doing on a daily basis? Like how much? Just like, all right, so this content that you're making this content, and it's getting a certain amount of views, and yada yada yada, for the purpose of monetization or for the purpose of.
Okay, I see what you mean. It's both. So first, because like we're full-time content creators, so mainly though I have this in-person training, which is the source of my my income, and also the online, so both. But at the same time, the content fitness content creator, as being fitness content creator, it also gives opportunity for a higher commission, pay, bonus from different brands. But those brands who are aligned to you, to your values, to your vision and goals. But if that brands, for example, is not aligned to you and they just want you to promote them, so that's something that you have to think of.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, because I know at the end of the day, it's still money, but is that something that you really want to do?
Right. And when it comes to training, when she mentioned is like one of the better sources of income,
Yeah.
you prefer in person over online training.
Uh, I would say online is like is good because you don't really have to be in there in person. But in person, I like the connection because it's different where when you see your client in person and you train them in person, because like you get to talk to them, you get to know them more, you have to get like conversation with them.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah, it's different. It's
Yeah,
a case to case
yeah.
basis.
What's your favorite social media platform?
Instagram right now.
Yeah.
But I love TikTok on streaming because, uh, like right now I'm streaming. I love TikTok on streaming because it builds community faster.
Okay.
Instagram is a little like professional, but TikTok is like whatever you do in there. It's like real
Okay.
time.
Okay. And what about YouTube? Anything?
YouTube is good too.
Yeah, long
Long
form
form of
content.
content.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I wish I have like an editor, video editor who, like who will really edit that long form content
Yeah.
because it's like 5-10 minute
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm kind of happy with everything that I got. What's your favorite part of this entire fitness profession?
Meeting a lot of people, um, able to help out people transform lives through fitness. Because now I have a deeper connection with people. Because before, when I was singing, like, okay, I'll go on stage, sing my song, and then people will appreciate that. Oh, you have a good voice, blah, 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 blah. But there's no connection, like real connection. Like, you get to inspire people through music, but fitness is like you transform lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna, don't shoot me, but, and I'm talking to myself honestly, but to be honest with myself, I am more excited around people who are already in the mix of this fitness journey, as opposed to, I don't know, like the day one person. I'm always, what's the word that I'm looking for? A person comes up to me and says, "Hey, Sean, I want to get in shape, and I
Oh,
would love your help." And it's like their first day. Because I've been burned by these types of individuals who, they have the enthusiasm, they have the drive on that particular day, but then when you're getting into week one or week two,
oh,
and
they fall off.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's hard for me to
To bring them
maintain,
back.
yeah, and maintain that level of excitement for them because they're not keeping it themselves. Granted, if they're paying me, it's an entirely different experience, but, and maybe it's just that simple. Maybe it's just I should only work with individuals on the day one journey if they're actually providing, okay, this is a monetary value for my time, because otherwise I end up getting like disappointed because
Yeah.
it's like kind of what you said, you feel a little drained, like you're putting all this energy in, and then at the end of the day you're losing interest, and what was the whole point of all this, you know?
Yeah, that's why like it's gotta be your passion, like because when, especially those clients are reaching out to you for help because they can't do it themselves. So that's your responsibility, your job, to make them accountable. Like, hey, we need to do this. You need to get back on track. Like, because they're here for a reason. They wanted your help. So for you, it's gotta be your passion to help out other people to transform their lives through fitness.
Yeah.
Because like I had clients in the past, they're not really like mean. They're like they're not bitchy, but they just don't have this motivation to go to the gym. So what I did is like I just consistently message them like once a week just to check up on them, to make them hold accountable. Like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Just a follow up.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though I know they hated the gym, they hated working out, but I gotta tell them like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, and honestly, that's really the solution that I'm searching for when it comes to my career, because ever since discovering the value of fitness and nutrition and health and wellness, I understand that this really should be a priority for the entire planet, especially in first world countries. Obviously, when you get to third world and they're focusing on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, food, shelter, safety,
Yeah,
comfort, and all that stuff. When you're in first world and you're living in a city and things of that
I
nature,
know
fitness and health really should be,
the
if
priority.
a top priority for everyone. And I'm really trying, and like this is what I'm going to spend my career figuring out, is like, how do we make this fun? Because I think right now, for people who aren't in the world or aren't on their own fitness journey, they see it as inconvenient, tedious, something that like, oh, it sucks, it's hard. It's not like something that they want to do. They don't want to spend an hour
Yeah.
out of their day bettering themselves, which is crazy. Just saying it out loud, it sounds crazy, but it's a fact.
Yeah.
The people who aren't pursuing that better version of themselves, they find it too difficult and
Yeah.
too strenuous.
But we can't blame them because they got eaten by the system. So they're into rat race. We're kind of the same, but like we got out from there, because now we manage our own time. But them, they don't have a choice because for them, they want to live,
Yes.
in a certain way where they can provide for their families.
Right, and they're living off of money.
Yes.
Money is,
Paycheck.
yes, yeah, money is the thing that's driving them.
Yes.
So then it's like, okay, well, you go to work, you're doing a thing to get paid. Once the job is done, you're no longer thinking about, like, you're done.
Yes.
Now you're
Done
thinking
for
about,
the day.
yeah.
I'm gonna go home,
Yes.
eat my chips.
You did everything that you're
watch
supposed to do,
movie.
so now you're thinking about rewards. You're
Yeah.
reward driven because you did the thing that you're supposed to do, which is make money.
Yeah.
Now it's food.
Yeah,
Now it's
reward.
comfort. Now it's chat with my wife or my husband or whatever
Yeah,
to
it's
like
too much
feel.
for them.
Yeah.
And we couldn't blame them because like that's their thing. They're distracted with their own things. But us, since like that time when I was starting with my fitness journey, like I made time. I made sure like I had like 1 hour, 2 hours of my time in the gym before. I just kept on figuring it out because like before, when I was doing my corporate job, I do my gym sessions in the evening. Like I would take nap, dinner, and then go to the gym. But I would only get like 4 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, because I was up until midnight. The gym closes at midnight, so I was there from 9 to 12. Yeah, so I switched it up. I started going to the gym early in the mornings, like 5 a.m. already in the gym, and then after that go to the office, shower and then office. Yeah,
Yeah.
but because I made time and I
Yeah.
didn't have a family to feed, like my responsibility is myself.
Yeah, no, that's definitely the thing to figure out is, for the people that they're engrossed in their own daily routine
Yeah.
and they have other people that they're living with and interacting with, how do we get them to start thinking about, you know what, I need to prioritize an hour, not even a day, but an hour 3 or 4 times a week
Yeah.
to myself and for my health. And,
And this is what we came into place. That's why we always try to put up content every day to remind the people that, hey, you have to take care of yourself too. Doesn't matter. You can start with once a week. If you don't have really, if you don't have that time to go to the gym, you can start with 1 hour once a week, and then, slowly increasing.
I like that. And
Yeah.
just have a designated day. You know, maybe it's
Yeah.
like Friday
Uh-huh.
or Monday.
Can start with that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, not all people are called upon to do the job like that. Like me, I feel it rewarding when I train clients, especially when I see them like becoming stronger, you know. But not all people, not all fitness creator have the drive or passion to do that, because, for example, you're an athlete, you're a natural bodybuilder. Maybe your purpose is just to inspire other natural bodybuilder, not to rely on, you know, steroids.
Yeah.
So maybe that's your purpose. So if that's something that's firing you up, then go for it. You know, it doesn't matter if, oh, don't think about like, don't beat yourself up. Oh, I'm not like helping out other people. But by being you, you're actually helping other people already.
I like that. And, you know, I do have like a hero mentality where I want to save the world.
Yeah.
And I do constantly fight with this understanding that I'm not going to be able to save everyone. But I do want to save as many people as I can. From what? Perhaps, I don't know, being fat and mediocre, as harsh as it sounds. I want everyone to chase after the best versions of themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's my dream for like the world. I think it'd just be cool to see a bunch of individuals just going after that best version. I think we would have a cooler society, you know?
I know, but
So,
unfortunately, we can't save everyone.
yeah.
For me, because I've seen a lot of people, you know, I try to help them, but not all people are have the drive to be that great, or to get out from their comfort zone. No
Yeah.
matter how much we push them to be great, or no matter how much help we provide them, it's
But-
still up to the
yeah.
individual.
And the beautiful thing of what we're doing is that we'll connect with some people and we'll change some lives.
Yes.
And the lives that we do change, that's what was worth it,
Yeah.
you know? So
As long as we're making an impact one person at a time.
yeah. And honestly, I can go to bed with a smile on my face with that. I can. Yeah.
I love it.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah. That's
No,
what I
that's
got.
good. That's good
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
I love
thank you.
it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for hopping on here with me.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah, you really are a great role model and inspiration.
Aw, thanks, Sean.
I really look up to you. I really do.
Thank you. You know, sometimes it's my toxic trait too. You know, like being like back to back to back. Because like sometimes like if I don't get the results that I wanted, like sometimes I'm being impatient too. And I push more, push harder, and some people get stressed out in the way.
I get that. Hey, listen, you know, it's all part of the
Like, come on, what's happening?
Yeah, and you know, like, you know, I've got my training partner.
I know, Tia.
yeah.
Remember we were talking about it?
There was I think it was last week or 2 weeks before. I had a heart-to-heart with him.
Oh, yeah?
And I tried to give him my perspective, where I personally feel like I've won at life, and now it's just how much can I win? You know, how can I continue to keep succeeding? Because I feel like a success story is just, the success story just gets bigger and bigger. So I'm always happy. I
Yeah.
quit my day job. You know, I was miserable. I was freaking depressed at that day job. They were just piling work on me. I left my day job. I took a month to like kind of condense, because I was working there for
Yeah.
4 months, for 4 years, I'm sorry. And then came to Zoo Culture, life changed. All of a sudden there's a community and a network.
I know.
And I get to spend my time around like-minded individuals. I'm in heaven, literally. This is heaven on earth for me.
Right.
So it's very hard for me to like get stressed out or feel negative emotions on a day-to-day basis, because I'm living the life that I've always wanted to live. And I tried to like have that heart-to-heart with him and get him to understand, like, hey, listen, you're there too, man. We've won.
Yeah.
We've won. And now it's just like we just keep winning.
Yes.
And that really resonated, I think. So
Yeah, and it's risk. No matter what you do in life, it's all about taking risks.
yes.
If you want
Yeah.
change, you have to take risks.
Yeah, and you gotta have confidence and faith that,
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
you know, and don't get me wrong, when there's other people, like take my son, for example, I would have left my job so much sooner if my son wasn't here. But instead, it's like, okay, well, I have to provide for, because I've been homeless. I got to Los Angeles homeless, and I could do it again.
Damn.
I wouldn't feel uncomfortable being homeless again. But being homeless with a child, it's like a different.
Yeah, it's different story.
Yeah. So I had to be a bit more strategic, and I'm still very happy that I made the decision to leave my job because, again, you just have to factor in more things. There's more to consider, but ultimately you got to do what's best for you. You know.
Yeah.
So.
But we're here.
Oh yeah.
Surviving.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All onwards and upwards, I always say. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Well, this was a fantastic conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it again because there was a lot of pearls of wisdom.
I know.
So, yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching, guys. Yay.
Aw, yeah.